What do gay horses eat?
Hey!
So, about 3 years ago, I came out as transgender. And I actually got a question if I was FTM or MTF. First of all, I'm glad that you can't tell, but I am female to male. So there's that. Um, Back then, I was really depressed. I was in a really weird state. Like, I really didn't talk to people, and I was just really uncomfortable with myself, and I felt really down and sad all the time because I hated my body, and I didn't want to be who I was, basically. Um, Obviously, uncomfortableness comes along with that because you have to worry about passing on a daily basis. You have to worry about if your chest is showing, if people recognize you as a male, or if they know that your body represents a female. And I hated that. I absolutely hated that. And I hated being misgendered. And I hated my friends. Like, after telling my friends or my family, them continuing to call me by my birth name or by female pronouns, that absolutely killed me. But I lived with it because I understand that it's not just hard on me because I am personally going through it, but it's also hard, like, on my family and friends because they've known me before I came out. So I understand that it takes getting used to. But at the same time, it seemed like the majority of them wouldn't even try. So that really affected me in a bad way. But and I also worried about other people's opinions about me. Like, I got called a dyke, a he, she, and it. And all of that really hurt me. And it made me not want to come out of my shell. It made me not want to do like daily things. Like, I didn't want to get a job because I was afraid of not being accepted in my work environment. And I was afraid of having to go by my birth name and all of that awkward stuff. But I had a fantastic experience, a fantastic experience. I ended up going and living with my stepmother, and while I was there, I got a job. And before moving in with my stepmother, she knew about my situation. She knew that I was transgender, and she accepted me for the man that I was. So that being said, everyone that she talked to, she referred to me with male pronouns and with Taylor. So all of them knew me by that, and just everyone there, everyone that I met, they respected it and they accepted me for me, and it was the most fantastic experience that I've ever been through in my whole life. And I don't know, it just basically gave me a taste of like the life that I know that I need to have and that I deserve to have. Um but her sons and everything, like, they accepted me as one of them, called me T all the time, used male pronouns. It just made me feel super comfortable, and that helped me a lot. Also, a lot more understanding with my position. The area down there was way more open than any area that I've ever lived in. So it was easier for me to come out of my shell. I started making friends. I started actually going to parties or going to movies or hanging out with people because I felt comfortable. I felt like I was where I was supposed to be. Granted, that situation didn't work out, and now I'm back living with my brother, but at the end of the day, it was a really good experience, and I wouldn't have traded it for anything in the world. I love everybody that I met, and I continue to keep in contact with them because they have played such a huge part in my life, and they have helped me become who I am today. And they've helped me become way more comfortable than I ever thought that I would be in the body that I have. Some fears that I have, the first one is having to cut people out of my life. And that is simply because, although people know my position, they still refuse to see me as a male. And it's difficult to keep them in my life because it's basically like a constant reminder that I was, I am not who I feel I should be. And I feel like I shouldn't have that reminder because it's not their position to remind me. If somebody loves me, then they should support me and they should show me that they are here for me no matter what. So I worry about having to cut people out of my life because some people I really do care about, and it just worries me a lot. Because I don't want to cut anybody out of my life. But at the end of the day, if I have to, then I have to. If they don't respect me, then they don't. And I can't do anything about that but just move on with my life. Not having money to transition, that scares me more than anything. Just because, obviously, I need money. Because how else would I do my transition? That just worries me because it's a lot of saving up and it's a whole long, tiring process. But I know that eventually I will somehow work through it and it would be a good day. Well, not it. It would be a good time. It would be a good time. Another fear is never being recognized for the man I am by the ones I love the most. Because that hurts more than they could ever imagine. If I love someone and they love me, then that should be it. Like, it shouldn't be as complicated as, oh, well, this is what I met you as, or whatever. Okay, I understand. But you can still try. I do things to make you feel comfortable. You can love me back and try to make me feel comfortable. It's not that big of a deal. Male pronouns. Taylor. It's not difficult. I promise. Just try. That's all I ask. Yes, slip-ups will happen, and I'll be okay with that because I understand. I am transitioning, and technically you are transitioning from saying she to he. I understand slip-ups, but just try. This fear might be sort of like, that's a weird one, but I have this, like, ridiculous fear that my body will react some strange way to the testosterone and I won't be able to take it. So that's kind of that. I just get myself psyched out, I guess, because obviously it reacts with people's bodies differently. I know a few people who had like some sort of like bad reaction to it or whatever and they had to stop taking it. I hope that that does not happen to me. I hope it just works out and it all goes well because that would make my life that much easier and it would be fantastic. Some tips I have if you are a loved one, a friend, family member, whatever, of somebody who has come out as transgender, whether it be male to female or female to male, here are tips. 1. If you love someone, show it. Support them. It doesn't matter. Yes, you knew them before, but you still know them now, and they're still the same person, just different pronouns. It's easy. It's simple. Number 2, respect pronouns, especially when that person is not around. There's nothing more horrifying than somebody who will support you while you're in the room, but as soon as you walk out, they're back referring to you as a female or as a male, depending which transition you're doing. You have to show them your support, even behind their back. Number 3, no assumptions. Just because somebody is male to female doesn't mean they only want to date guys. Or just because somebody is female to male doesn't mean they only want to date girls. Gender has nothing to do with sexual orientation. Number 4, don't introduce them as your trans friend. That doesn't matter. They're just your friend. It doesn't need to come up in conversation, of course, unless that person is okay with it. But it doesn't need to come up in conversation, oh yeah, they were a girl, but now they're a guy. Or they were a guy, now they're a girl. It doesn't matter. They're just a guy. Or they're just a girl. Or they're just your friend Taylor. Number 5, no reminders of the past. There is nothing worse than somebody trying to move on with their life and having a friend or a family member remind them about what they used to be. What they used to be doesn't matter. People change. It happens. Deal with it. 6, if you don't know, ask. Assumptions suck. I would rather somebody ask me if I was transgender than just assume that I'm a lesbian. I would rather that in a million years. Some people find it disrespectful, but I honestly don't get why. I think assuming that you're something is way more disrespectful than asking. Because assuming makes an ass out of you and me. The more you know. Basically, I've had bad experiences with people not accepting me or not agreeing with who I am or just all around being a douchebag because they don't like it. But the bottom line is, it has nothing to do with you. This is my life, this is me, and this is who I feel that I am. If you can't accept that, then there won't be any friendship. A bad experience that I had would actually be with my sperm donor. We'll say that. With my sperm donor. Since I had met him, he was trying to be respectable about who I am. He would call me T, male pronouns, all that good stuff. We got into an argument, and he called me by my birth name. I was basically like, if you're not going to respect me, then this whole relationship is not going to work. Because, like, I was glad that I found him, but if he wasn't going to respect me, then what was the point of even trying to build any sort of relationship? So, he said that if I was a guy, that I should show him some dick and balls. That kind of, like, ruined the whole getting to know my father thing. But with that experience, I gained a ton more people who support me and love me. And despite that bad in there, it was still good. It was still good, just because I got jobs. I was getting close to starting testosterone and all of that stuff. But shit happens. I'm glad that I met all of them. And I'm glad that I met my dad because I don't have to worry about him anymore. That's good. Meow. Oh wait, this is a horse. It's a horse, not a cow. I just want to thank everybody who does support me and anybody who has ever said any sort of encouraging words. You guys just make this whole experience a bit easier because I know that I don't have to do it alone. A lot of people don't understand, like, why I like Facebook or whatever other social media, but it's because a lot of people out there can be way more accepting than the people you have at home. And as sad as that is, it's true. At the end of the day, I still have someone. I have you guys. And I appreciate all of you who are interested in this video. Leave me comments if you want. That would be fantastic. I'd like to hear from you guys. I didn't really get any questions. The only question I got was if I was MTF or FDM. And I already answered that in the beginning of the video. I don't know which way the beginning is. We'll go this way. The beginning. To my other transgendered people out there, obviously you know you're not alone. That doesn't make the issue any easier, but if you need anybody to talk to, anybody who would understand your position really, feel free to message me. And even if you're not transgendered and you're just having a really shitty day, don't stop from inboxing me. I will talk to you. I will try to cheer you up. It might not work, but it's the thought that counts. So, thank you guys. Have a beautiful day, and I'm looking forward to hearing all of your feedback.